Just a decade ago, AMD, Advanced Micro Devices, was on the brink of collapse. The company was struggling with financial instability, increasing debt, and plummeting stock prices that hovered around $2 per share. Even though AMD had $2.2 billion in debt, had sold off its fabrication plants, with a quarter of its workforce being laid off, the threat of bankruptcy was looming at large. It looked like the company was on the brink of bankruptcy. The once prominent chipmaker was losing ground to the big boys like Intel and Nvidia. But one woman changed everything, Lisa Su. This is the story on how she turned around AMD. Instead of seeing a sinking ship, she saw opportunities. From the brink of bankruptcy to becoming one of the best performing stocks in the S&P 500. So how did she do it? Let's break it down to 3 simple steps that any company or any other person can learn from. Appointed as CEO on October 8, 2014, AMD was spread too thin, trying to do too many things at once. PC chips, mobile processors, even competing with Intel in the lower end markets. The problem? They weren't doing any of it particularly well. So Lisa made a bold decision. Instead of chasing every tech trend, AMD would double down on high-performance computing. This meant ditching some product lines, but it allowed AMD to build something great. This meant developing powerful CPUs and GPUs tailored for gaming consoles, data centers, and cloud computing. Su led AMD in a bold new direction by completely rethinking about how processors were built. Traditionally, making a more powerful chip meant making it bigger, but this approach was reaching its limits. Instead, AMD took a modular approach, designing smaller, more efficient chiplets that could be combined to create powerful processors. This innovative design, called the Zen architecture, became the foundation of Ryzen and EPYC chips, allowing AMD to deliver better performance while keeping costs and power consumption under control. The old AMD would have said, well, what is Intel doing? Let me make sure I'm doing what they are doing. This AMD today said, let me do what I think is the right thing, and let's bet on ourselves. AMD was just seen as a cheaper alternative to Intel. The first lesson the company learned was focus what you're best at. Instead of just improving what we already have, we decided to start afresh with a brand new design, what we call a clean sheet approach. We knew it wouldn't be an overnight success. It would take years, multiple product generations, and proof points along the way to convince everyone. The result? AMD Ryzen processors for consumers and EPYC processors for servers, both of which gained traction in the market. This laser focus helped AMD stand out and take on industry giants like Nvidia and Intel. Lesson number 2 is partnerships can break or make you. Building great products is one thing, but getting people to actually use them, that is a whole different challenge. Su understood that AMD needed big name customers to prove it was back. Su focused on partnerships, securing deals with Microsoft, Sony, Amazon, and Google. If you're gaming on an Xbox or PlayStation, there's a good chance you might be using AMD's chips. And if you're running on cloud applications, on Google or Microsoft's, AMD is there too. And these partnerships didn't just bring in revenue, it also sent a message to the market that AMD was a serious player again. There was a story that Lisa Su once drove through an ice storm to visit Hewlett-Packard's CEO. She said, "Look, if you are going to trust me or trust AMD with your most important projects, then I'll let you to know there is a face behind this company." With Antonio Neri at HP, she said, "I'm going to be stopping my old roadmap because it's not good enough. And I'm building a new roadmap. Please trust me. It will take me a few years, but this is the right thing to do." Antonio, to his credit, said, "Okay, Lisa, I trust you. I will support this if you deliver on your commitments." To her word is everything. If she is going to commit to do something, and she is going to make sure that all resources are behind that, and that is the role of the CEO. And the third lesson, the biggest lesson, is on communication and leadership. And one of the biggest lessons that Lisa learned, people need clarity. Earlier on, she just assumed that the team knew what she was thinking. And for Lisa Su, one of the biggest learning moments came from something called the 360-degree review. If you're not familiar, 360 review is a deep dive into a leader's performance. Instead of getting feedback from your direct reports, it includes input from everyone, employees from different levels, peers, and even stakeholders. The goal? To see a full picture on how the leader is being perceived. Lisa's first 360 at AMD was extensive. About 50 people were interviewed, and the final report was 60 pages long. Can you imagine that? That's a lot of feedback. And while she has always been focused on the business and the numbers, this report made her realize something surprising. People don't always know what she was thinking. She assumed that just because she had a clear vision, everyone else did too. But what she learned was that being clear in your own head was not good enough. You have to communicate explicitly, repeatedly, and in different ways depending on who you are speaking to. For example, executives need to hear about long-term goals and strategy. Engineers need to understand their technical priorities and why certain project matters. Sales and marketing teams need clarity on customer needs and messaging. Lisa realized that people were not just looking for direction. They wanted to understand her thought process. They wanted to know why she made certain decisions, what her priorities were, and how she was thinking about the future. That's when she doubled down on her communication. She started talking more, explaining more, and making sure that no one was left guessing. Today, Lisa Su is known for her extreme communication style. Not because she liked repeating herself, but because she knows it's the key to alignment, trust, and execution. So the lesson? No matter how good is your strategy, if people don't understand it, it won't work. That is why Lisa Su believes in what she calls extreme communication. Repeating the vision over and over again until it becomes second nature. She says that if you want something to stick, you have to say it 75 times and then another 75 times. But communication is just not about talking. It's also about listening. Lisa makes it a point to hear from everyone, not just the top executives. She loves checking in with engineers, sales teams, and even customers. She asks, "Hey, what's working and what is not working. Because the best ideas don't always come from the boardroom. They come from the people that is actually doing the work. Another big part of her leadership is always improving. She introduced the next 5% mindset. No matter how good something is, there's always a way to make it 5% better. It's about building a culture where learning and growth never stops. She also believes in calculated risk. Every week, she holds an informal, no slides meeting with her leadership to talk things through. It's a space for open discussions, challenges, and making sure AMD stays in sync. The results are nothing short of remarkable. By 2021, AMD stock had surged by 1,300%, reaching record highs, stock rising from $2 per share to $100 per share. The company, once on the verge of collapse, now boasted a valuation exceeding $200 billion. So what's next for AMD? AI is a huge focus, and Lisa Su has made it clear AI chips will be a major part of AMD's future. With the recent $49 billion acquisition of Xilinx, AMD is now competing in the AI space with NVIDIA. In summary, 3 things that help Lisa Su turn around AMD. Number 1, AMD focus on what they're good at. Number 2, they focus on partnership with big names. Number 3, they focus a lot on communication and leadership. And these are the 3 factors that help Lisa Su to turn around AMD. So what do you think is the biggest factor in AMD's turnaround? Let me know in the comments below. If you like this video, remember to subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video. Goodbye.